continuation of the Ninnersin spell or the Sinner's Right spell.
Right. That brother even light skinned, like that brother even his features even resemble that dude, that Mayan dude. The color, the tone, everything. That's crazy. Ain't that crazy, Rod?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, go ahead. What you say? You gonna say something about that one?
No, not about that one.
Okay, all right. Yeah, this one, another one about hairstyle with the what you call it right here, the cowlick. What you call it, the Galactic squirrel.
Galactic swirl.
Yeah, these are Americans. The real Americans can wear their hairstyle like this.
Yeah, you see how the other guy had more space between each ridge and his waves, and this little guy. That means that if he let his hair grow, this guy hair would be tighter curl or more kinky than the other guy hair. That picture right there, that lady behind him, that's not the same hairstyle. That's like what they call a bun or a bonnet. But it do look similar from the lines.
Yeah. Look at the waves.
Now this one right here, yeah. This is a priest right here in training. He could have had the waves.
Oh, it could have been a damn kufi.
I think it's a cap they used to wear that's similar to a what that thing the Muslims be wearing? Kufi.
Yeah. It would look like a kufi. It's my favorite hats. My favorite hats is the kufi. Yeah. I got all colors. All right, here's another one. That's how I know this us. That's how I know that we the real Americans. We the real ancient Egyptians. This us right here.
We the ancient everywhere on earth.
Yeah.
We are the ancient ones returning in a new era. Earth has went through changes.
Right.
We have to figure out how to get us to a better place from the place we at and worry about that more so than trying to change where we at. To take the misery away, you have to change the systems. All of that stuff is hardwired into the systems.
Right.
The 9 areas of people activity. Anything else you want to go over in there, Adam?
Yeah, this right here, where it says that blonde hair says yes, blonde hair has significant less movement, Europe melanin than dark pigment than the black hair. So it's saying that it goes this right here, just going over that black hair is more melanin than blonde hair. All right, same thing right here where it says blonde hair is weaker than black hair. But all of our sisters to go put the blonde hair. Now, like you said, Rod, we don't care like how you said it about people want to look good. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of things that prove that blonde hair is a curse. Even the Bible, even though a lot of people don't say, "Oh, the Bible's a comic." Rod said the Bible's a comic book. Damn, right? That was funny, right?
But I also said the Bible is got the astrology timetable in there. We got a lot of keys in there, but the way that they misused the Bible, I try to stay away from it as much as possible.
Yeah,
because you have to explain too many things about the book to get people to understand what its purpose was.
Yeah,
it's a lot of science in the Bible. It's one of the greatest books ever written, truthfully, but it's the fervor of delusion that come with the ones who know how to manipulate what it says to put you in your trance to keep you from thinking for yourself. But yeah, it's a comic book too.
that was funny when you said that last time, man. I almost fell out of my chair on that one, man. That comic book lie you did.
It is because it's based on mythology. All of the comics is based on myths. The same myths, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so the last two scrolls was talking about blonde hair being less melanin, being weaker. The Bible and Leviticus, the Old Testament, also backs that up when it says that it was a curse. That yellow, what says yellow thin hair right here in the so the yellow thin hair is blonde hair. If you go back and read that, follow people that's been at the speed, that's Leviticus 13 for my Bible guys. Now, Rod, these people with the six ether. Are these the Dravidian looking people? The Dravidian.
Those were the original. So all of them don't have the same texture of hair. Some of them look like the old Jacksons, but her bloodline. This is one of the daughters. She's from one of the Inky bloodlines, from one of his wives from the Pleiades, and her skin was literally navy blue.
Yeah.
But when she mixed with Inky, some of them had the hair like the Jacksons in the 70s, and some of them had hair like this that they got from the mother side.
Yeah.
So you got two lines of Dravidians. The only common denominator is they're all dark.
Yeah, dark. Right. Here's more of a reference to what you were saying right here.
Mm-hmm.
See, she got more of like the 7 right here. Then she got more of a 6. Yeah. So I know some girls over here look like her too.
She looked more Asian, like the old Chinese and Koreans used to look. The Vietnamese.
Yeah. The original ones. Yeah. All right. So these people right here, raw down in South America with
those are Melanasians.
Okay.
Right. Remember I told you had some of them with dark skin and blonde hair?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right here.
And they still got the 8. Like I know they still got some got the 8 ether with the blonde.
Yeah, good 9.
Yeah,
but they got 9. They do got 9 ether. We had those same kind of people over here.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you about how the sun had bleached my hair when I went to Mississippi. It gets lighter in the sun.
Yeah. It's the tyrosine in their brain also causes the hair to go and turn that color like this right here, but it's still like that's like a 9 right there. Look like 9, at least an 8.5 for sure. All right, so this what I wanted to get around to because your tape was on the afros. Now here's he looked white though, Rod, but look at his hair though. You know what I'm saying?
How many drops of blood do it take?
Like he look like an albino though. Like what you think, Rod? One drop.
There's a lot of Europeans with this texture hair. That if you put in original Caucasian, they gonna have afros. Right. Those were the sons of Canaan.
Yeah, Canaanite.
They was off the Albion line. If you go to African Presence in early Europe, edited by Ivan van Sertima, it's a doctor, I forgot his name, but he wrote an essay on the Grimaldi, which is the description that the Canaanite by Malachi give for the Canaanite origin. It's the same story, right? But the essay in the African presence in early Asia is explaining to you scientifically what Malachi is using to show it to you in the religious texts. Because when he wrote the sons of Canaan, he was in Sarula.
Yeah, right.
And when he wrote the Pale Man, he was in Sarula. The science is still the same science, but he's showing it to you Quranically and biblically, whereas the dude writing in the African presence in early Europe, he's giving it to you biochemically.
Okay.
Right, based on types of albinism, because one type you can tan, another type you can't.
Right.
Right. And this is how they end up with hair like this. This is what the one drop of blood does to you too. It make you look like you ain't from the bloodline, but the hair tell the story because you can't hold that texture unless you got some of the blood.
That's right. Ain't no way. So these are real either the Canaanites or got that one that they mulattoes from that one drop of blood. Look at this dude hair right here.
Yeah. You gotta know this. A lot of the people that's passing blow dry their hair till it's straight. And they have to blow dry it before it dry, or else it'll turn into this, and then they'll be exposed.
Wow.
So they have to hurry up after the shower and blow dry their hair so it don't freeze up. So a real pale face won't know they just passing.
Wow, that do make sense, bro. That makes sense. All right, we gotta.
But you could tell she a sister, but she's just as light as any pale face.
Yeah, she an albino. Yeah, albino sister.
But you see, she got dark eyes.
Yeah.
That's type the class 2 of albinism explained in the essay.
She's albino too. Albino. Yeah, he's a dude over in Africa, and then this little Uzi, he from over here. They look just alike. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come back and do this. Is my last picture, but I'm gonna come back and do a video of people that look just alike people in Africa, like people in America that look like people in Africa. I already I got the tape already done already, and it's loaded up already. I'm just gonna do it again since nobody watched it.
So you gotta remember, just because they look like us don't mean they us.
I know it.
You know, because the imposter married into our families. Debauchery was people pretending to be God, messing people up in the laboratory trying to create slaves.
Yes, yes.
So the people that they created to be their slaves, we call them paleface now.
Cybernized people, yeah.
Right? Now, when they created them, they denied a sentient being ascension rights, which broke galactic law, which created galactic war on Earth. So while we've been fighting the war under the pretense of this government versus that government, and there was never that. It was Enki versus Enlil and their children.
A violation of galactic of treaties and right, you weren't supposed to break those contracts or create hybridized children that had no ties to, what do you consider ties to, like a soul imprint, or ties to, they had no connection to being able to ascend out of here, because every being that's soul has the ability to ascend, as far as I know. A soul.
Right. Well, they was creating people that if they get too intelligent, they shut down part of their body and start making it. The Stephen Hawking syndrome is what I call it.
Yes, atrophying. They start to atrophy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because they can't cycle, because it's a debate Dr. Francis Welsing goes over the defect in the cerebral spinal network of the paleface, right? And she's in a debate, and it was on PBS. But anybody want to know what I'm talking about, pull that up. But they had a blocked channel where they couldn't raise the sacred secretion, which caused their pineal glands to
shrink and
atrophy and calcify.
Yeah.
When
thus we hear the language all the time. They're obsessed with getting taking something for the pineal gland. Take this for the because, and they would make it seem like they put it on everybody as if everybody's pineal gland is atrophied. It would kind of like make it like a group thing, when really it's just a specific group of beings that have that atrophied pineal gland, which limits their ability. They're capped with higher consciousness and the ability to ascend. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. You can't ascend. You conscious, But when the ascension period come, you 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 stay back in the lower energy. You trap.
Mhm. Hypermaterialism, root chakra behavior, bestiality,
Right.
necrophilia. Yeah.
So Inky wrote that one drop of Anunnaki blood, which is the same saying one drop of black blood,
Mm,
will correct the defect. But
that's the merging.
it needed time to saturate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Just because they got the blood, they have to also learn how to animate the blood through arts and entertainment. That's why we wasn't getting Grammys and Oscars. It wasn't for us. It was for the ones passing to assimilate their drop of blood and appear to be something that they wasn't. Pale face.
Well, I just made a video on that, Rod, talking about make sure there's no children on the show. We're getting left a little bit. I was talking about the initiation that happens with brown men being able to sleep with lunar women. And it started with Guess Who's Coming Home for Dinner with Sidney Poitier, which was the alarm clock going off saying, okay, it's time for you to start to intake some of that DNA. And also for women, just based on my genetic knowledge, is that every time we allow a man to inseminate inside of us or take it in orally, we take on partially his DNA. And if we give birth to his child, it's even more. And I was talking about how lunar women will take on some of the aspects and attributes of brown women once they start to have intercourse with brown men.
Well, that's only once that one drop of blood is being activated. Most of the people that we think are pale face is passing.
Oh, you're right.
About 90%, if they've been in America longer than 100 years, that they bloodline, they pass.
Yes, yes.
Right,
Rudolph for Germany,
right.
the tall white alien
Now,
said that. Yeah.
before they was allowing brothers to touch the pale-faced woman, they gave the pale-faced man fornication rights by orders of King George. This is where you get your rapes on the so-called plantation.
Mm.
They was taking part of the booty issued by the king, right? Go out there and spread your seed. And they was and gave them, they was letting them do the most perverse things because that's who came over here.
Well,
But they
criminal.
was
Yeah.
given permission to do it. That's why, for a long time they didn't even prosecute rape
No.
because it was legal.
Mm-hmm.
It was ordered by the king.
Mm.
It was the rebellion of the tribes that made them change the law.
Mm.
You gotta see when you see them Huns and them women Mongolians with the red handprint on their face.
Yeah.
That's the bloody hand of the black glove.
Mm.
Silencing the women when they was raping them. That's why they do that. That's not just a something to try to say it's your culture. That's it's telling you a story.
Mm.
It's a whole story behind that red hand over their mouth. And this is what was going on contemporary with the time, and it's heavy in the oral tradition. If you ask any one of them that weird can tell you exactly what it means.
Mm.
You got to remember the Boston Massacre. That's why they Red Sox. That's what the red carpet is. Everything I'm talking about in that post I just sent you too.
The trail of blood. Mm. Hold on, let me share it with everyone.
Yeah. And the first person that died in the Boston Massacre was the first blood of the righteous Crispus Attucks. That's why they gotta always tell us he was first to die in the American Revolution. No matter what, no matter how they whitewash history, they gotta let us know he wasn't no paleface. Because you got to be able to identify the first blood of the sacrifice in order to break the oath, the conjure, the blood oath that was The blood oath was made by spilling his blood by Scottish Rite Freemasons. So they wrote the secondary constitution in his blood. It's in the George Washington Masonic Memorial, but don't nobody know that the reason why it's fading brown is because that's blood.
What? Aired out oxidized blood.
Yeah.
It turns
Over
brown.
time, as the blood fades, the spell weakens.
Wow. That's why they have to keep reinstituting new rituals and new blood rituals.
Right. That's called maintenance in the conjure.
Yeah.
Because it's for one magician by himself, he can't carry a conjure that long if he don't maintenance. It's only going to last a little while. That's why when it broke down in 1812, it started another war. We trying to stop war on the homeland. So the people we fighting, they bring personal homicide into our community and feed it to our children with like it's bravado. Now they got
really savagery and art and occults ritualistically being invocated and projected and propagated.
Look, remember they started off with cowboys and Indians, right? Bang bang shoot 'em ups, Western movies. They went from Western movies to theatrical performance movies with a leading man that was macho, played mostly by homosexuals, like Rock Hudson. Played these dashing and dynamic, attractive men on the big screen, but all the time they was getting some dynamic and active penetration behind the scenes.
Absolutely, as of all the heartthrobs, allegedly,
Now watch how they play us now. And now while this is going on, we producing Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Huey Newton, Stokely Carmichael, Fannie Lou Hamer. The list goes on. Stand up people that's not taking it no more. Right? Then they go from there to bank robbery movies and shootout movies and gangster movies.
That's right.
Right? Them movies started dominating in the 60s. When the 70s roll around, it's inner city crime.